Hello, this video is for IXL Activity A1.D.7. It is titled Percent of a Number, where we're going to deal with tax, discount, and more. So I suppose that means other situations other than tax or discount. The 3-character code for this activity is Sierra Kilo Zulu. Almost forgot what the S was there for a moment. All right, so Rihanna ate dinner at a restaurant. The bill came to $19. If she left a 20% tip, how much was the tip? So there's some key things that we need to go ahead and discuss here. The word of, if we think of the word of, this lets us know that we need to multiply. So whenever we hear the word of, P-L-Y, there we go. Whenever we hear the word of, we want to go ahead and multiply. And also, we want to be able to take percents and change them to decimals. And these are the two key ingredients of this activity, that the word of means to multiply, and that we want to change our percents over to decimals. And that's going to be very helpful in this activity. So let's think about this. The bill came to $19. If she left a 20% tip, how much was the tip? So we're talking, what, 20% of 19, right? So if we put 20% of 19 is blank, right? Well, let's convert this over to easier math that we can work with instead of like a sentence. So 20% is a decimal. Well, we know that to change a percent to a decimal, we need to move the decimal over 2 places to the left. So we would end up with 0.2. The word of means to multiply, so we're going to go ahead and multiply times 19. So I'll put that parentheses 19. This means 0.2 times 19. Remember, the absence of an operation sign implies that we should indeed multiply. The word is like the equal sign, so we'll go and put equal, and then we'll just call the unknown. We'll call the unknown x in this case. So now we just need to do 0.2 times 19. So I'll go and grab my calculator here and do 19 times 0.2. I kind of like to do the decimal portion second. So 19 times 2 is 19 times 0.2 is going to equal 3.8. And since we're talking about money, we'll throw a 0 there on the end, so we know that the tip in this case is going to be $3.80. Now, another way we could have done this is that 10% is pretty easy. 10% of 19 is $1.90. And then we could think, okay, well, 20% would be double that. So if we did 190 plus 190, we would come to that same $3.80. So probably could have mental math this a little bit easier than actually writing it out. But I want to lay the foundation of the fact that the word of means to multiply, and we want to be able to change percents over to decimals. A store pays $69.52 for an iron bench. The store marks up the price by 50%. What is the amount of the markup? So the amount of the markup is 50% of 69.52, or $69.52. It equals some number, but we'll call it x. So let's convert this over. 50% is a decimal, 0.5. Of means to multiply. We're going to multiply times 69.52, and that's going to equal our value x, which is the price of the markup that we're looking for. So again, I'll go ahead and grab my calculator. This is 69.52 times 0.5, and that's going to give me a result of 34.76. So x equals 34.76. And this is money, so $34.76. Johnny buys a nightstand priced at $27. If the sales tax is 10%, how much tax will Johnny pay? Well, be careful. We don't want to know the total that Johnny's paying. We just want to know how much is the tax. So we want to know 10% of $27 is blank. Right? So 10% of the decimal is 0.1. Of means to multiply. We're going to multiply times 27. And this is going to equal x. Now, I'm pretty good at multiplying and figuring 10%. And 10% of 27, I'm just going to move the decimal over one place and end up with $2.70. So in this case, the tax is going to be $2.70. 270 is 10% of 27. A store pays $461.50 for a clarinet and marks the price up by 10%. What is the new price? So now, going to have to be careful because we need to find the markup price. We need to find the markup and then add it to the original price as well to find out what the new price is. So we're going to have to do a little bit of extra work there. So we need to know 10% of 461.50. And this is going to give us our answer that we'll call X. So let's put 10% as a decimal. Again, 0.1. We're going to multiply times 461.50. And I can go ahead and drop that 0 there. So I'm just going to move the decimal over one place. So I know that that's going to be $46.15. Now, this right here is the 10% markup. But they want to know what's the new price. Well, the new price is that markup plus the original cost. So I need to take $461.50, the actual cost that the store paid for it, plus their markup of 10%, which is going to be 46.15. And whenever I add those two together, so 461.5, going to add to that 46.15, and that's going to give me 507.65. So that's going to be the new price for it. It is the markup plus the original cost, so it's going to be $507.65. Now we need to determine which coupon's the better deal. So Camellia would like to buy a couch with an original price of $406. Which coupon should she use? Well, $100 off on the purchase of $350 or more, so 406 is more than 350, so this would work. She would pay, what, $306, right, if she uses this coupon. Or she could save 35% off any item. So we're talking about 35% of 406, right? And that's what she would be saving. Now, we could do this, and let's go ahead and do that. 0.35 is a decimal. Let's multiply that times 406. And this is going to equal 0.35 times 406. Clear. 0.35 times 406 is going to be a savings of $142.10. Now, I would have to take the 406 and subtract, so I'd have to take 406 and subtract the 142.10. And whenever I do that, 406 minus the answer, which is 142, I would end up with 263.9. So 263.9. And we see that this one's going to be the better deal. 263.90 is cheaper than 306. However, I would have approached this a little bit different. How I would have approached this is, instead of thinking 35% of 406 as my savings, let's think of it this way. If I have 100% and I knock off 35%, right, I should be paying, what is it, 65? Yep, 65% of the cost is what I'm going to pay. So I'm actually going to do 65% of 406. And then if I did that, that would be 0.65 times 406. And this would tell me what I'm paying without having to do the subtraction stuff here. Okay, so 0.65 times 406 is going to give me the same 200. Hold on, back. There we go. 263.90. And again, this is still a cheaper price, so you'd want to go with the 35% coupon. But notice what I did here is, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to save 35%, figure out what 35% of 406 is, and then subtract it from the 406, instead of thinking, okay, instead of saving 35%, I'm actually paying 65% of it, because 65 is the difference of 100 minus 35. Which coupon should Joe use to save the most money on a set of dishes originally priced at $440? Wow, those are some expensive dishes. He could save $200, which would be $440 minus $200. It's going to be $240. So if he goes this route, he's going to pay $240. Now, 45% off. That means he's going to pay, what, 55%, right? So we want to know 55% of 440. So 55% of 440. Let's see what that is. That's going to be 0.55 as a decimal. We're going to multiply that times 440. And whenever we do that, 0.55 times 440, it's going to give us $242 dead on, right? Which is cheaper. 240 is less than 242. So we want to use the Save $200 coupon. Next, the original price of an emerald pennant is $665.40. Which coupon is the better deal? So 60% off, that means we're going to pay actually, what, 40%, right? So if we're getting 60% off, we're going to pay 40%. 40% of what? The actual price, $665.40. In this case, that's going to be 0.4, 40% is a decimal, times 665.4. You can drop that 0 whenever we type that into a calculator. 0.4 times 665.4. It's going to give me a result of $266.16. Or we could have gotten $400 knocked off. Well, 665.40 minus 400 is going to be what? 265.40. So what's the cheaper one? It's going to be this one here by what? Less than $1, right? So this one here saving $400. Best choice. Our next question is that Desmond buys a carousel horse online for $406.50. If shipping and handling are an additional 6% of the price, how much shipping and handling will Desmond pay? So we just want to know the shipping and handling. Be careful not to do the shipping and handling and then add it back to the original price to see how much that Desmond paid. So we want 6% of, and the price is $406.50. So we're going to change this 6% to a decimal, 0.06. Remember, move the decimal over 2 places, so you're going to need that place holding 0 there. And of means to multiply. We're going to multiply by 406 and 0.5. I can drop that 0 off the end whenever I type it into the calculator. So 0.06, multiply that times 406.5, and we'll see that that would result in an answer of $24.39. This is the shipping and handling. That's what they're asking for, $24.39. Be careful not to add that back to the original price. Now, if they ask what's the total that Desmond has to pay for both the item and the shipping and handling, then you would add the $24.39 to the original price of $406.50. But they're only asking for shipping and handling, so we're just going to stick with the $24.39. Tyler earns 7 7/10 commission as a salesperson. He sold a television that cost $709.18. How much commission did Tyler earn? So first I want to change this fraction to this mixed number over to a decimal. 7 7/10. 7 7/10% of, and the cost of the TV was $709.18. So all I've done here is I've just taken the mixed number of 7 7/10 and changed it over to a decimal, 7.7, because the 7 here is indeed in the tenths place, so that would be 7/10. Now I want to change this percentage over to a decimal, so I'm going to move the decimal over 2 places, and I'm going to need a place holding 0, so that's going to be 0.7, nope, wrong. That's going to be 0.077, and I need to multiply that decimal number by 709.18, and what's the one, another commission. So we need to do 0.077. We're going to multiply that times 709.18. 709.18. There we go. And that's going to be 54.60686. 6. Well, we're dealing with money, so we just want to go to this place value here. It says to round your answer to the nearest cent. So as I look to the right of the 0, I see that there's a 6. 5 or more raise the score. So the 6 is going to make this 0 become a 1. So I end up with $54.61 is going to be my answer. $54.61 is Tyler's commission. Here we have another question that uses a mixed number as a percentage. The sales tax rate is 5 3/10%. If Shivani, I guess that is, buys a mountain bike priced at $425.94, what will be the total cost including tax? So this is where we're going to have to calculate the tax, then add it back to the cost of the mountain bike to find out what the total cost is, because they want total cost including tax. So let's change this 5 3/10 over to 5.3, right? The 3 is in the tenths position, so that is indeed 0.3%. 5.3% of, and the cost of the mountain bike is $425.94. So let's change the percentage over to a decimal, 0.053. Remember, move that decimal over 2 places, so you're going to need a place holding 0 there. Of means to multiply. We're going to multiply times the price of the mountain bike, $425.94. So let's do 0.053, multiply that times 425.94, and that's going to give us $22,57482. So this is the tax right here, but they want to know total cost, so I need to add the cost of the bike in as well. Remember, the bike is $425.94. So if I add that tax back in, let's add to that plus 425.94. This is going to give me a total of $448, and then all these decimals here, 514, and I'm not going to need to go any further because it says to the nearest cent, so I'm around to here. So as I look to the right of the 1 here, that's in the hundredths place, which is cents, 4 or less, let it rest, right? So this 1 is going to remain a 1, so we're going to have $448.51 is going to be the total. Final question. A store pays $33,940 for a dining room table. Wow, that must be a pretty nice dining room table. The store marks up the price by 43.2%. What is the amount of the markup? So it's not the new cost of the table. It's just they want to know what is the amount of the markup. All right. So let's go ahead and figure this one out. So we need to know 43.2% of the cost that the store pays for it, $33,940. Again, that's a pretty expensive table. The percent is a decimal. Let's move that decimal over 2 places and end up with 0.432%. And again, that's just as, I actually don't need the percent sign on there. Misspoke. Multiply it times 33,940. And whenever we do that, we're going to get 0.432 times 33,940 is going to equal 14,662.08. So we're at cents already. No need to round, which notice they're not asking us to round. So they're wanting to know what is the amount of the markup, which is what we have here. So we're not going to add it back to that cost of what the store paid for it. That would be the new price, but they just want to know the markup. So the markup is going to be a total of $14,662.08. If we add that 14,662.08, let's add that back to that table just to see what that table costs. $33,940. That is a $48,602.08. Nearly $50,000 for that table. That's more than I paid for my truck. Nice truck, too. All right. So those are all of my examples for IXL activity A1.D.7 percent of a number, where we calculated tax, discounts, and more. Good luck with your activity.